Hey, what's up, guys? Jake here, another episode of On the Rise Music Podcast. Today, we are honored to have special guest and producer and multi-instrumental musician, Escapism. Huge fan of your music, man. How you been?
I've been all right. Trying to keep the career going with this quarantine thing. I'm sure, everybody's watching the news. We're doing what we can. We're young. We want to go out. Music brings us together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just been an entirely different year for all of that,
Amen. Yeah, you can definitely say that again.
Yeah.
So jumping right into it, in terms of like everything that's been going on, I'm sure that you've taken this opportunity to like just grow yourself musically and just put out stuff. Was there anything like during this quarantine that you kind of wanted to experiment with that you branched out to, or are you just like making stuff that is just consistent with your sound?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Me and I'm sure thousands of other artists on the planet. I mean, we have really been confined to just doing what we do. I mean, live performances they're out the window. So without live performance, I guess we're all kind of cornered to face ourselves and face our software and experiment even more. So for me personally, I'm making some of the weirdest experimental stuff I've ever made. I've been in my head pretty crazy. I mean, glitchy sounds, ambient sounds. I mean, the textures have just been pretty non-traditional as far as electronic music goes. I mean, it's been fun. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I understand, and what's cool about this whole thing is it's giving you the opportunity to like genuinely become a student again. Like you're given the time to do nothing, and you're given the opportunity to just be at home and start searching the internet, whatever it may be. And with that, like, hey, you can start being a student. You start learning new things, start trying out new things that you didn't want to do. And I know you're like the music that you have is already pretty like experimental and it's already like it's very unique and authentic. So I'm sure that like the stuff that you got coming out like that you're working on is about to sound even crazier than that.
It's weird. Yeah, I'd say, well, I hope it goes with the flow with, I hope it's at least somewhat enjoyable to listen to, because I know for me, it's pretty experimental, but yeah, like you said, school's in session, as far as, learning goes with some of this equipment and some of I mean, you can learn some crazy things and invent some new genres. And I think
100%.
Right now is the time for that.
Yep, I definitely agree with that. Now, would you like to define your music sound a little bit? I mean, like it's definitely a mixture of different things, but would you mind just like going into it and just kind of dissecting it from your point of view?
Yeah. I guess some people would call it, there's ambient and there's EDM, which is, electronic dance music.
Yeah.
They're calling this IDM, I guess, which is intelligent dance music is what they're calling it. Which means it's not your traditional, consistent
head banging.
So I guess there's they're calling it IDM. It's or they call it Sybient, which is like psychological ambient.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is, so there's all kinds of, like I said, new genre benders are kind of starting to emerge the last couple of years. And I think this last year, there's glitch step, there's trip hop, there's sci hop, which is like psychological hip hop. So I guess they're calling it, I guess they call some of my music glitch,
Okay.
Very glitched out, sounds like a broken hard drive, I guess. So yeah, all kinds of crazy stuff. I guess that's what I would call it. But
yeah, I mean it bangs, I'm not gonna lie. Like it goes. So like there really has to be no like it could be classified as whatever. But
yeah.
What exactly made you want to go into producing that type of music? And I mean I understand that you're like a multi-instrument, like you're played and you're learning in multiple instruments. Did that influence come from that like history that you had for those instruments, or was it just something that you were like, I just want to try this out?
You know what? I think it kind of just started because the first instrument I ever picked up was a guitar, and I really did like electronic music. Obviously Daft Punk, one of the pioneers.
Yeah, of course.
Highly influenced by them. But on the other hand, I was going to Van's Warped Tour. I was like, he was very guitar based. You know what I mean? So I grew up in a time where I was thinking to myself, how can I incorporate guitar and these guitar pedals with some of this more software based electronic music? And boom, there you go. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I've always been into, you know, just like the genre bending experimental stuff. So if it can be bent, I'm going to try and push the edge of that.
Yeah, might as well. I mean, that just goes to show that you are you're authentic. Like, you understand that there's something for you to put your mark on. And
Yeah.
and honestly, I've talked to many artists about this, like through the show and everything, and they're saying the same exact thing. Like, hey, the only way that you're gonna really stay relevant and have a following is if you're authentic. Like you, like you're like you said, you want to bend genres. You want to, like, if it can be bent, you're gonna bend it. Like, if that's what sets you apart from your competitors and whoever else is making music, it's obviously gonna make you stand out. Like, because you're making stuff that, like you said you use sounds from Colorado. You use birds. You use just nature sounds, and that's really interesting. Because music is energy and nature is energy, and that you're combining them together and kind of driving it forward is really, really interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, with software nowadays, you can literally record that sound of birds. You can record the sound of a streaming river or anything like that, sound of snow crunching. You can load it up in this software. Obviously, we're over here in Colorado, so there's a little bit of that going on, a lot of outdoor stuff going on, and I love doing that stuff. You can take those sounds, manipulate them, you know, put them through transient masters, and you can turn these knobs, and what was once birds is now like a kick and a snare and a clap
100%,
and percussion. So, I mean, there's a couple of artists that I know that made entire albums just based on sounds that a refrigerator makes.
Damn, that's
you know,
so that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's really interesting.
The future's here, and I mean,
100%.
Yeah.
There was like an old, or not an old Kia commercial, but like a couple years ago, and it was like they're making beats. They made a whole song using different parts of the car. Like, they were hitting it, they were like revving the engine, they were like playing the drums on like the hood or something like that. And it's just so much, it's so much more interesting. And I'm in no way taking a shot or stab at anybody for using just regular DAWs, but like making a sound out of something that typically is like an everyday sound, like the creak of a door, the chirp of a bird. Like, that's just so much. That's just it's not more interesting, but it is a lot. It's a lot cooler, and it's a lot. It's harder to do. You have to have a certain vision, and you have to be very clear about what you want. Because if, like you said, you could chop it up, make it sound like whatever you want. So if you initially hear it, you're like, in your mind, you like, normal person or anybody in general is probably just going to be like, I mean, it's just a bird chirping. Like, I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
But you're over here chopping it up, making it sound like a snare or whatever it may be, and just like, I mean, you're putting your mark on it, you know, and that's like, that's sick, bro. Like, you're definitely like different than a lot of people that I've listened to. Being completely
Yeah, I appreciate that. You know what the crazy thing is only to the creator, like, that's making this music, you might not ever, even listening to it, you know, as an audience member or as a curator, you'll never know if the sound originally came from a squeaky door, a bird, a car door slamming. You will never know. We'll never know as the listener. So that's another thing, like, you know, why should an artist take the time to make a car door slamming sound like something else? You know, why are artists getting that experimental?
Yeah,
it's crazy. I mean, whatever's authentic to the producer and the person creating that music, that's just one more thing that I think can make that person or producer more authentic, you know?
Definitely. Yeah. And it's like, it's something that's close to you. Like you said, like, if you do it and no one else knows but you, at least you're like, I really did that. Like, it's like a badge of honor that you're wearing. It's like something that you accomplished. You were like, I made a beat using strictly ambient noises, and I pieced them all together and made it sound like a song that you could easily produce on like using a DAW.
Yeah. Absolutely. Going above and beyond to do that 100%. Experimental weird stuff, you know?
100%. Now, do you, because I understand you're studying psychology and everything, you're a psychology major. Do you feel that that background helps feed into the music that you produce? Is it helping drive like the whole ambient noise and the psychological? You called it what was the genre again?
Sybient.
Sybient.
Yeah, ambient psychological.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If you take a look at some of the older like psychological things that people study, it was sound therapy, right? I mean, sound therapy is like a real, authentic, modern and ancient like study.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And there's so many things today that say that a certain kilohertz, a certain frequency wave, a certain key, and a certain organized, yeah, exactly. A certain level and organization to all of these layers of keys and frequencies can definitely do something to your brainstem. Like, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we had a guest on here actually, Free Will. He was like one of our first couple of guests. He was talking about binaural beats and how he got really interested in the manipulation of sounds for sound therapy. So I mean, hey, might have a collab in the work, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You two working on something.
Yeah.
But like that's really interesting that like music to the normal person, music is energy, of course, but you don't believe or you don't see it clearly that it is truly it helps it's a mood lifter or suppressor, whatever it may be, but it does make you feel things. Like if you're in a bad mood and you listen to a song that makes you happy, that's music therapy. It made you happy. Unknowingly, it like changed the way that you think. And what I think is really cool about what you're doing and manipulating all the sounds is like you are telling people you can still listen and do exactly what you're doing and not change what you're doing, but you can also add just add this into your music and your life will be a little bit better because you're unknowingly being changed and manipulated by the sounds based on whatever the pitch, frequency, whatever it may be, to have like a better day, you know?
Yeah, who knows what type of psychological subconscious things are going on when we're absorbing all of this music, you know?
Exactly.
We might never know. We might be thinking, hey, it put a smile on my face, or it made me sad, or it made me cry, but I'm sure there's layers that, you know, we'll never understand that are subconsciously going on.
Exactly. So. That's what's so crazy. Like honestly, the human mind is just you can't there's nothing concrete, you know? And it's just like, especially like at times when I was going through like some crazy ass shit. I mean, we still go through bouts every so often, even if we've gone through like the deepest of the deeps or whatever it may be. But it's like you have to really like think about why you're doing it. And then even then it's like, I really don't know. Something may have happened like a long ass time ago. I have no idea, no recollection, but it just stayed with me.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's, or what's crazy to me is that I got really big into meditation. As of like, I've been meditating every day since like November 11th. And I got so good at just unraveling my mind that I would start to feel things. And then I would just be like, all right, I'm gonna sit with this. And then I would sit with it for the day. And then by the end of like, right before I went to bed, I'd be like, oh fuck. Okay. I know why I was feeling that way. It's because of this.
Yeah.
And this music that you're coming out with and just like on top of that meditation, of course, it helps you it helps you unravel the ball of yarn that is our brain that we can't seem to ever like get to the beginning of.
Yeah. Hopefully the music is kind of like, you know, you didn't even know the ball of yarn was so tangled, you know, until you kind of hear some of the stuff that you're listening to.
And you start thinking,
or you didn't know you were that stressed, you know, until
100%.
Until your shoulders drop, you know, you don't realize how wound up you are. Yeah. There's a lot of things that, so definitely psychology is part of the mix, you know, sociology, psychology, all those things are super relevant.
Yeah. I mean, I fuck with it, bro. And you're doing something with it. So like you obviously know, don't fix what's not broken. You know what I'm saying? It's like, when did you first start playing all these instruments? Because I understand that, you know, guitar, keyboard, piano, and a beat machine. Like when did it first start that you really started getting into playing music?
I think it started when I realized that it's kind of difficult to have bandmates. And I was growing up also, you know, I'm 28, so right around the age of like 15, 16, those young adolescent, Taking Back Sunday, like emo,
Oh, I get
vibes
it.
or
Yeah, I grew up on that a little
um,
bit too. I'm a little bit younger, but I totally understand
yeah,
what you're saying.
that teen angst is coming out, and then that's right when the invention of the looping pedal came out. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
so I mean, if I had myself and my own ideas locked up in here, and I have a looping pedal, and now guess what else is coming out? The beginning of Ableton, the beginning of these softwares.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I didn't need anybody else, and when I tried to experiment with anybody else, it was just kind of like, we have different ideas going on here.
Yeah, it
You know,
makes
I
sense.
love a good jam session. I love a good jam session,
Hmm.
but there are some things that you just gotta get out that you might not be able to empathize exactly
Oh,
100% with a
yeah,
bandmate.
trust me, I totally get it.
Uh,
And yeah, there's
yeah,
definitely situations which is actually kind of cool that you can basically be your own band. Like
yeah,
now. But yeah, like no one's really gonna understand your vision besides you. Like you are the only
yeah,
person that will 100% and then just like straight up just believe in what you're doing and trust what you're
mhm,
doing. And
yeah,
and it's like that's okay sometimes. Like hey, sometimes you have to just branch out on your own or on your own and just make music alone. And
yeah,
because like I mean that famous saying, like if you want it done right, sometimes you just gotta do it yourself.
yeah,
Like it's not like yeah you're not being selfish in any way. You're just like I want to preserve the integrity of like my vision of my sound and
right,
my
right,
music and everything. And I mean you can do it, so why not do it? You
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. Dude, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a good jam session. Like I
No,
can get
trust me, I
down,
get it. I get it. Yeah.
and we're just, yeah, we're getting it. But yeah, I kind of had to learn a hard lesson too. When, let's say, I was kind of a beginner, you know, a couple of years ago, 7, 8 years ago, I was making my own music, and then I was thinking like, I don't really like the way it's mixed, and I feel like it can sound better, and I feel like it can be mastered. The sound quality can be mastered. You send it to somebody else, something
Doesn't
bad
yeah
happens,
doesn't
you
come back the
know?
way you wanted.
Yeah, you go out on a limb and it's like, well, like, he panned it to the left when I want it to be right. I don't like the way the snare is sitting in the middle when it should be
Hmm.
in the back. The vocals aren't forefront. There's like so many things that, you know, can go wrong. And in my opinion, did go wrong with my
No,
experience.
I get it.
So now, not only did I have to play the instruments and record the instruments, now I got to learn how to mix and master them, you know?
Yeah.
I just in my experience, it just seems like nobody's ever gonna care about your baby as much as you are. You know?
Exactly. Exactly. No, I get it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
totally get it. They're like I this summer I picked up designing clothing and everything, like just real like basic just mock-ups and stuff. I
That's
sent it to
dope.
friends of mine. Thanks, man. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
just send it to friends of mine, and some of them would be like, okay, I see what you're doing, and then others would just be like, oh, I want you to do this, I want you to do this. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I thank you for your feedback. I really appreciate it, but it's like, it just seems like you don't understand why I'm designing this, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like I have a vision that I see, and I in my mind like it's what I see, but sometimes when I show it to people they're just like man, like it has to be fully manifested into a physical piece for them to be like okay, I totally see what you're doing with that. But yeah,
Right.
I totally get it. Like it's just it's difficult sometimes to like
Oh
connect with
yeah.
people, especially I mean like the music
Yeah.
you're doing, like your stuff is pretty experimental, and
Yeah.
it would definitely fly over a lot of people's heads, especially like bandmates and stuff. Like they're just gonna be like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man, hesitant or just want to go down a different direction. So it totally it explains why you're just a solo act.
Yeah. Yeah. We could probably relate to that because let's say you show them a sketch or something of the piece that you're, you
Mhm.
know, about to begin to design. It definitely doesn't go well for me because I'm like, all right, guys, listen to these birds. You know, and they're just like where's the beat? Like where's the kick drum? What?
Just
So
wait for
yeah,
it, man.
that's
It's
very
coming.
cool. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely relate with me there. I mean,
100%.
different body types, different ears,
Yep,
different
definitely.
styles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay.
So,
Like there shouldn't be any uniformity, but it's like
yeah.
sometimes when it comes down to crunch time, like you do got to go out on your own and just got to make it like make it
Hmm.
your own. And I mean that's what you're doing, and no
Hmm.
one's holding you back. I mean, unfortunately, like I'm not saying a band members would hold you back, but now
Yeah.
you can really move at the pit, like move at the beat of your own drum and just do like your own
Yeah.
shit at your own time.
Yeah. Takes a lot longer.
I mean, like, hey, at
Sure
least you become a
does.
master of it. At least, like,
Yeah.
you take the time to understand it, to learn it, and
Mhm.
yeah, you like when the time comes and you are given the opportunity to take advantage of like a deal or just some like major event that just skyrockets your fame, like, hey, you're ready. Like, you're like, oh, I've been through it all. I've seen it all. And now I'm here. I did my time. I mean, granted, it was by myself and I busted my ass for like a long ass time, but hey, you're here, man. Like, you understand how everything works and you can do it on your own, because in the end, like, if a show doesn't go wrong, people can't blame anybody. It's just like, yo, it's my fault. Or if a show goes really well, on the other hand, you're like, yo, this is all me by myself. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's pretty delicate with a lot of this software. I mean, if you are performing live, if you do push the wrong button, or if you do turn the wrong knob, you're gonna be in trouble for the whole set. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Was there ever like an instance where that's happened, where you've just like fucked up and you're like, oh damn?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, you'll step on the wrong pedal, or you'll turn the wrong knob a millisecond too early, and it's just like, and yeah, it just sounds like alien, whatever the hell. Luckily, people in Colorado at least have been pretty open-minded, and they're just like,
makes sense.
oh, yeah, that's even better.
You're like, wow, he did something crazy. You're like, yeah, no, I did something crazy, not intentional, but it turned out something crazy, you know?
Yeah.
No,
and I am lucky that I think the Colorado music scene is really supportive.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if I was living in a lot of other states, I wouldn't be given the opportunity like I've been in this state, because they've given me a shot. They really have given me a shot. You know, I may have been the opener, or I may have headlined, or I may have done whatever the heck, but I've definitely, you know, there's not too many, you know, Denver's not one of the bigger capital cities in the US, but there's about maybe 13 music venues that are really popping off, and 6 people own all of them, you know?
Yeah.
So,
that's actually really interesting, like, point that you make about like Denver being so open. Like, the more I think about it, I'm from LA, and like the music scene there is just, I mean, you're either pop or you're not. Like you either conform or you're not. And it's like, I mean, I'm not like, pop music's good. Like, every so often a song will come on where I'm just like, yeah, just let it play, bro. But like, for the most part, like, it just all sounds the same. And like, your music definitely doesn't sound like anybody else's, if I'm being completely honest. So like, yeah, given your location and like, just point that you are, or like the place that you're at right now, that's really interesting that you would test and give your credit to the city of Denver for allowing you to like be very open and everything. And I totally agree, man. I know a friend out there who goes to school with me, and he produces, and he was telling me all the music he listened to, all the acts he's seen live, and I'm just like, wow, bro, like, these are so diverse. Like, he's a big hip hop head, but he was listening to all like these like kind of like what you do, the ambient noise, EDM, house, live bands, whatever it was. But it was just like a range of different like acts and everything. And he's like, like, literally, now that I think about it, it's because of the location that he's at, Denver, being so open-minded and just accepting of everybody, or musically, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is, man. Dude, you got to come out sometime. We've got some underground music showcases that are just like, I mean, it's more artistic than it is music based. Mm-hmm. Seriously, I mean, one of my best friends, he's in a great band, and their lead vocalist plays a giant harp. Okay. I mean, like, this thing is gigantic. And they do like trip hop, and some of the best rappers, they're painting their faces. I mean, it's like wearing masks. Like, it's just like, it's an art scene, to be honest.
Oh, definitely. And what's crazy about that too is, like, who's to say that those people don't deserve a platform of their own? Like, why because they're so experimental that they can't get the platform that they deserve? And who's to put a label on music and say this is profitable, this isn't? Like, in reality, music is just a way of expressing who you are, and if that's really what you fuck with and you're really good at it, why should somebody who just sounds like everybody else deserve a platform and you don't? And I love, like, I may not fuck with the genre, but if you're doing something that's really good, I'll probably be a fan of you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Heck yeah, dude. You got to come to Colorado sometime, because this underground music showcase. Come out, dude. We'll hit the slopes.
Well, definitely, definitely have to come, like, yeah, when it snows, like well, being from California, being from SoCal, it's just like
Oh, nice.
don't ever see snow. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
it's so funny because it snowed here in Tucson. I actually go to the U of A. So
Nice.
it's pretty hot year round as well. But like 2 years
Yeah.
ago, it snowed, or yeah, 2 years ago, or a year ago, technically. It snowed for the first time in like a fat minute. And I woke up and I don't know what compelled me to open up the window, but I did. And I
Yeah.
was just like, dude, I was
Yeah.
so in shock. I didn't know what the hell to do. So I just called my mom. I was like, hey, mom, it's snowing. And she was like, what? It's like, why'd you call me? And I was like, I don't know. I just reacted to snow. So yeah, dude, I definitely love to come out and hit the slopes. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
hopefully get you to meet my friend, because I'm sure you guys, he's a producer as well. I actually had him on
Absolutely.
the show, like the fifth guest, I think, or something like that. And
Nice.
he makes
I'm gonna
like
check that out.
everything. Yeah. Sir Charles.
Yeah,
That's
Sir Charles. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
he's the same thing.
Gotcha.
That's why he's the guy that I told you about that had listened to like a bunch of like different like genres and attributes a lot of his music taste to the city of Denver.
Nice.
So yeah, it's like what you're doing, bro. Like your sound and
Yeah.
everything is like you're finding your niche crowd, and that's all you really need. All you need
Yeah.
is a select group of people that really fuck with you, and then keep
Yeah.
pushing. I mean, like your numbers on Spotify, I'm pretty impressed. I'm not gonna lie. Like you're doing some things, bro.
Yeah. I hope it gets bigger, you know. You go out on a limb, and what can you do, you know, but just hope for the best, because I know I'm not making the most steady beat kind of stuff. I mean, I listen to all the greats, like I listen to Saba and Chance, and
Mm-hmm.
I love all these guys, and I love pop just as much as I love any other genre too.
Yeah,
But
of course.
I mean, that just seemed like when I was younger, in my earlier 20s, I was like, this is kind of like, we got to do something different,
No, I
you
get it.
know?
Yeah.
Just not like the boom bap, like the lo-fi thing is like really big right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had a guest on who's like our second or third guest. I can't remember who, but dude, he blew up off of lo-fi, and he's like living
Nice.
fat by himself, like with him and his
Yeah.
girlfriend chilling off of like
Yeah.
YouTube, bro. He said YouTube got him the most streams.
Yeah.
He's like, he just makes
Damn.
so much money off of YouTube revenue, and he's like big, like in like overseas, not so much in America, because lo-fi is big, but it's not like as big as like hip hop or pop. Those are like the two main, and then country music
Yeah.
technically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like go, like yeah, venture out, do your own thing, because like dude, the music, you're making music for you. Like being
Yeah.
completely honest, you're making music
Yeah.
from what comes inside. You're not making music
Yeah.
to sell. Like you said, like it's just you saw it and you were like, something has to, like there's got to be something different, and
Yeah.
that's authentic, bro. That's really
Yeah.
like that, like take you far in the music industry. Like all you really have in this life is your word and your authenticity, and the fact that you're being able to put your authenticity behind the music you produce is going to take you
Yeah.
far.
Yeah. Hopefully I could just make the sales in the merch or something, huh?
Hey, I mean, like take what you can, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. And I never, you know, I never really thought about that anyway, you know, awesome secondary income, you know, doing live shows and stuff like that. But I've got a day job too. I do social work in the daytime.
As you
So,
should, bro. Helping people
yeah.
out. Like that's like
Yeah.
you're really like, damn, you really deserve a platform now at this point. Like you're really helping people out, and you're making music,
Yeah.
doing what you like, and doing stuff that you personally like. Not that
Yeah.
anyone else likes, but like you
Yeah.
as an individual fuck with. So
Yeah.
so yeah, that's just like, hey, good people deserve their time, and if you keep doing your time and putting in that energy into the world, like it's gonna manifest itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hope so.
People are gonna find you.
I hope so. What are you studying? What are you studying right now?
I am an English major with a classics minor. Same thing. I wanted to go into
Very
something
cool.
that I really fucked with.
Very cool.
I mean, granted, I went into English because my dad and my older sister are both English majors. And I was just like, it just seems, and I always loved reading growing up. So I was like, it just seems easy. But as I progressed and started getting into like, this is my final year here at the U of A. Damn, it's bittersweet, but it's been a fun 4 years. I'm not gonna lie. When I started, it was just all like writing classes and everything. I mean, it was easy, but I was like, this is kind of boring. And then as I started getting into like classes where it was like 15 people, 10 people, where it was just you, like you had to be writing notes. You couldn't be taking notes because you get distracted really easily. That's when it started getting fun. That's when I started like, that's when I just started like asking a shit ton of questions, really started learning stuff. And now it's just like, it's so much fun, bro. Like homework isn't even homework. Classics I got into because of, I read Percy Jackson a ton when I was younger.
Nice.
And it's really funny because I was asking like some of our or I was talking to like one of my, because I took Latin too my freshman year. That shit was hard, bro. Like Latin's fun and it's really interesting, but oh my God, it's a dead language for a reason. Like not to be or anything, but it is, there's a lot. But I was actually asking one of my professors who was teaching me Latin, and she was like, oh, why do you want to do classics? And I was like, oh, I mean, as cliche as it is, like Percy Jackson. And she was like, no, that's what Rick Riordan's point was to get kids interested in stuff that is boring, or that is boring by like just like societal standards. And she was like, and sure enough, I was one of the kids that he caught up, and now I'm doing it for as a minor. But yeah, man, like I'm just trying to have fun. Like I want to go to law school as a graduate program. Not sure yet. I got to start getting serious about it though. In the next months. But same thing. Like you really got to read and you got to know how to write and speak, which is English and classics. So it's preparing me for both of those, you know. But
that's a beautiful thing, dude. That's,
you know, if On the Rise pops off, I might just be chilling with On the Rise.
Yeah. You gotta have multiple outlets, right?
Exactly. Hey, like you said, you know.
Yeah.
Gotta be student to it all too. Like I'm taking all this in, learning new ways to speak to people, learning different ways on handling like awkward silences, saying like trying to get rid of that. That's first couple of interviews I was like and I felt like I just felt so nervous behind camera. And then after a while I was like, it's just a conversation, and it's fun. Like with you with producing music, it's supposed to be fun. And this is just something that I do, you know, give you guys a platform, have you speak about like the fact that that give you some more exposure, the fact that you are hustling, busting your ass, and to give you like an extra shot, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, you too, man. You're on your grind. Yes.
Thanks, man.
Good. I'll either have to have you represent me in court or sign a copy of your book.
You know what I'm saying? Honestly, like I'm trying to, or the reason I wanted to get into law was because I want to read contracts over. I would like to have my JD, but if I don't take the bar, at least I have, like, I can sit down and I can read out contracts, write out contracts, whatever it may be. So hey, I might have to represent you when you start popping, you know, reading over your contracts, I'll be your agent. Fuck it. I mean, if you don't have one, you know what I'm saying? I'll start off for a low commission.
I like that, dude. Oh man. That's a crazy thing that I really had to learn was, you know, with some of these labels and some of these what are they? Yeah, I guess they're labels. I mean, some of the fine print on this stuff is really
they eat you up.
I'm not kidding. I mean, it's already enough that Spotify pays you, you know, like 0.001 of a penny, you know,
for a single stream.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you could sell one. I guess I just learned this the other day. You sell one T-shirt for $30. That is the equivalent of like 600,000 streams.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Wow! I gotta take a second to process that one.
Yeah. So, yeah, a $30 T-shirt or 600,000 streams. Take your pick. You know.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Oh man, give me a second, bro.
So, yeah.
Damn.
I know. Oh, I know. Yeah.
Oh Lord. That's the whole thing with like rappers being like, yo, you sold your soul to the devil. Like, yo, you gotta crank out like what, I don't know, like what is the basic 3 albums and 10 singles or whatever it is. Like you're stuck with us till you get those out. And if you like if you negotiate pretty poorly and get all the money up front, like you're kind of screwed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's why some of our favorite artists, I mean, it just gets lazier and lazier. And less authentic and less coherent, and like you just don't want to tune in anymore because you just know they're pumping it out.
Yeah, definitely. You know? Which is one of my favorite acts back, or I mean, like within like the last 3-4 years was Brockhampton. I don't know if you really listen.
Oh, dude, I love all of them.
Yeah, their music's insane. The Saturation trilogy was probably their magnum opus. But then like they get signed to RCA, and I know that they said that they weren't gonna fall victim to like being like industry plans, sellouts or whatever, but I mean it just comes like when you have to produce 3 albums and a shit ton of singles, it's gonna, like the first singles that they released were good, like they reminded me they were like a step up from the Saturation trilogy and everything, but then when they started coming out with stuff on their actual label, it's just like they were recycling stuff. I'm not taking any jab at them or anything, like they got their money, they're doing shit, like hey, that's everyone's dream, that's every artist's dream, but in my opinion it's just like their original music when they were on their own label, when they were doing their own thing,
Yeah.
completely independent, all in house. That was when they were the best.
I know.
BH.
The rawness, dude, the rawness.
Exactly.
And that's been a timeless thing with every artist that we loved. I mean, like, you take
100%.
weirdest artists, dude. Take Papa Roach, man. Like, cut my life. They recorded that song one take in a garage when they were 19. You know what I mean?
What I'm saying. That's what like rappers who freestyle, dude. Like Juice WRLD, rest in Juice WRLD. But dude was one take every single time. like his freestyles and his like his unreleased music is just blows my mind because it's like it obviously didn't meet the label standards and everything. But just the fact that it was just a one take and it didn't have, it was just him speaking, and it's like the fact that you can do that and consistently keep cadence with the beat, that's authentic. That's hard. Like you can't mimic that.
Yeah, doesn't come from anywhere else. You know what I mean?
The heart and the brain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Who was it? What's Chance's real name?
Oh, his brother. Or are you talking about Taylor Bennett?
Yeah, I'm talking about his brother.
Yeah.
He got suspended. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't think so.
So Chance's brother got suspended from high school for 10 days, right? High school. He wrote a song a day. So that's 10 songs. He put the album out. It's like one of the most beautiful things. And it blew up immediately. 17-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And, you know, he called it the suspended EP.
Yeah.
You know? There's crazy stuff like that where it's just like, you know, oh, man. You know when it's authentic and you know when it's selling out.
Definitely. Yeah. We had a guest on here, Lil Tank. That dude, shout out to him, like just recently signed a deal. He like we were on the phone when we were interviewing him. He was talking about like in possible talks for like a label and everything, trying to find himself a deal. And so shout out to him. Like good shit, Lil Tank. Us at On the Rise, congratulating you. Good shit, bro.
I'm gonna check him out, dude.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't remember what interview it is, but that was a fun interview. 100% authentic. Like dude came from like the poorest of the poor. Was talking about like went to prison. Was talking about time in the pen, and was just like. And I straight up told him, I was like, look, man, I'm not from the hood. I'm from a upper or like a middle class suburb in Los Angeles. My dad was from the hood. Took us out of there because he knew the benefits of leaving, even though that was his home. And I straight up told him, I was like, I don't fuck with any of that. I don't bang with any of it. Like, that's not who I am, but I respect it because it's authentic and you're rapping about what you experienced. Yeah. And it's like, he laughed. He was like, hey, that's authentic, bro. He's like, you acknowledge that you're not part of it, but you still fuck with it. And it's like, yeah, you can tell when it's being like cranked out, and you can tell when it's when it's actually coming from a place of sincerity and authenticity.
Yeah, shout out to you and On the Rise because just having that open-mindedness is first key. You know what I mean? I mean, that's part of the problem is just that closed-mindedness. It's like hip hop belongs over here and EDM belongs over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. And and if you're gonna close off, like realistically speaking, if you're just gonna prejudge and close off your mind before you have the opportunity to do anything, like you're just gonna be, and you're angry that you're not experiencing these things, or like people are like fucking with what you don't fuck with because you close yourself off. You're in the end, you're gonna look like a fool, like as a nice way to put it. That just goes in general, like people out there, all our fans, everybody, like be open to experiences, like be open-minded as much as possible, especially in the time that we're going through now. You got to be open-minded you got to be open-minded in general. You got to be you got to be understanding of people's situations, stuff that you can't see, stuff that you don't understand. Again, that comes with open-mindedness. And just struggles and everything. Like people are going through stuff they've never gone through, you know what I'm saying? And that
absolutely
goes for COVID times, you know, the social time, the you know, the social climate we're in with the whole Black Lives Matter and everything. Like, hey, if you're not open to like giving those people a platform and listening to what they have to say and actually pushing for them to get up there, I'm gonna say it as nice as possible. You're a fool. You definitely got some thinking to do, some meditation. You got to go over to get to that place. But
absolutely. Oh yeah. And for you and On the Rise, so that's forward thinking. We got to just stay forward thinking. I mean,
Yeah, of course, of course.
I don't know how,
Man.
I don't know how I don't know if I'd be able to make it in California or LA, because I know it's such a competitive, sometimes it feels really oversaturated there.
100%. Oh my God,
You
totally.
know?
Oh man, I know so many friends are like, oh, I know somebody here. I know somebody here with the
Yeah.
label. It's like, okay, but they sound like 4 or 5 rappers on the radio right now. Like, you really
Yeah.
think that? I'm sorry, but you really think that I care? Not. I mean, I don't mean
Yeah.
you're a dick or anything.
Yeah.
But you're doing it for the wrong reasons, and then say
Yeah.
like, you, bro, Escapism is doing it because he really fucks with this stuff and wants to push the
Mm.
genre. And I
Yeah.
mean, like, I'm not the head power and everything dictating all that stuff, but in my opinion, I really think more people like you, more independent artists, should be given those platforms. So that's all we're
Yeah.
really trying to do here at On the Rise. Just give you
Yeah.
a platform to speak your mind. You know, talk a little bit about what you do and why you do it. So
Yeah. 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 We're here to say we don't need the labels. We don't need
no, of course you
we
don't.
don't need to sell our left nut for that
No,
studio time.
for those
You know what
3
I mean?
albums and 10 singles, bro. No, you
Yeah.
can make those 3 albums. Fuck it, in like, I don't know, 5 years. Who knows?
Yeah.
Not a 2.5 year span. Like, take your
Right.
time making your music. It comes more
Oh, yeah.
authentic. Take breaks. Go out in nature, bro. Find a new sound. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
get inspired by what's around you. Don't get inspired by what you see on the internet. You know, like, experience
Yes.
stuff. And
Yes.
people like
Yeah.
you and people in the similar to Escapism and just all the music that you put together definitely deserve to be heard. I mean, even if like a lot of people don't like aren't open yet, like, if you
Mhm.
keep pushing it and keep putting that out there, like, those people will come around to it because it's good. I was
Yeah.
listening to it going on a walk right now, and I was just like, this
Yeah.
is like, wow. Like, literally, I was like, damn, I'm calm, shoulders drop. I'm just walking, you know. Uh,
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Come check it out. We'll bang it out in the studio.
yeah, I want to see this like 5 instrument or 4 or 5 instrument repertoire in action. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah. It's a lot. Oh yeah.
But
Just like
it's doing
yeah,
something, bro.
yeah,
Doing something.
yeah.
Well, I just want to. We're coming close to wrapping it up. I just want to take a quick moment. Thank you again, Escapism. Thank you again for coming on and just talking with us. You know, about the industry, about your sound, about life, pretty much. You know what I'm talking about. Thank you again, bro. Really appreciate it. Had a great time. I got one final question. It's more so a 2-part question. If like, okay, so first part is, what is one thing you would tell a beginning producer or beginning artist that is that important that they know, like a piece of advice, and on top of that, is there anybody you're listening to right now? Anybody that you're working with? You want to just give them a platform? Go ahead, just shout them out, and we'll tag them at the end of the video.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, this is next level. Again, artists supporting artists. I love it. I would say if you're a young producer and you're making music and you find a sound and you find a tone that resonates with you, you'll know. Just go with the flow. It'll speak to you and you'll know. Well, you'll know it like your first love. I'm telling you. I'm
100%.
really telling you. You got to believe. And it might not sound cool. It might not sound mainstream. Go with the flow of yourself and don't stop until you find that. It might take years, but you will find something that is going to resonate with you for the rest of your life. I'm telling you, this sound, it's going to stick with you. And it doesn't matter if it rocks with anybody else. It's just got to rock with you.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And second, who am I working with? I've worked with a lot of artists over the years. I mean, as much as I make my own music, I love to track other vocalists. I mean, I've tracked a lot of rappers, a lot of hip hop artists. There's no one that I'm particularly working with right now. I'm working with this producer from London right now. He's been one of my favorite bands, minus the Bear. His name's Alex Rose. He's been a great teacher to me, and shout out to him because there's, like we just said, school's always in session and we are never going to stop learning. Clothing industry, PR industry, music industry.
Exactly.
And that's when pandemics hit and we got to roll with the punches. You know what I mean?
You got to do it from home now.
Yep. Oh yeah. So yeah, you still with me? You got me?
Yep, I got you. Just
right.
do a little cutout. You're completely fine though.
All right, you're good. All right, yeah, I remember when I saw one of my favorite artists. His name's Son Holo. Have you heard of this guy?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he was ripping it on a DJ deck, right? And I was
Mhm.
like, this guy's a really sick DJ. Then he stands up on top of the DJ decks, pulls out a guitar, and fucking just boom, starts wailing on this guitar. And I was like, this is it. He's smashing the DJ decks, playing this beat up guitar, mixing trap, hip hop,
Mhm.
Euro house, deep house, jazz, electric rock. And I was like, he's doing it, man. That's what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go. Aspiring, pushing. You know, you like you
yeah,
said, a
yeah,
beat or march to the beat of your own drum. Go with the ebb and
yeah,
flow of yourself,
yeah.
and yeah, you'll be fine. Like again, like I cannot like stress that point enough. Fuck what everyone else thinks and do it for yourself. Like in the end, if you are really really good and really authentic, something's gonna happen. Like it's not
Yeah,
like it's not like you're gonna go unnoticed forever. Like yeah, it may take a minute, but again,
yeah,
keep grinding it out, keep pushing. Like
yeah,
if you really want it and you're really passionate about it, you're not gonna give up. So
yeah,
I'm pretty sure people out there that are hearing it from you and hearing it from me, hearing it from whoever,
yeah,
like, they're like, yeah, of course, because I want this. I don't care if I get shit in my face. Like
yeah,
I'm gonna get to where I want to be. So
yeah.
and I have
I
said it
get a
better
little,
myself.
I get a little discouraged when I see some of these like 16-year-olds on TikTok and they just kind of like, right? They just like do that,
Yeah,
and
and
then
there's like
it's like 6 mil.
2.8 likes, like six mil followers, like making
Yeah.
$90 a day. Like, bruh, what the fuck?
Oh,
That's
dude.
unsustainable, man. Like that's not
Yeah.
authentic. That's just trends, you
Yeah.
know?
How about they're like lip syncing somebody else's song, and they get like more views than the actual artist? You know what I mean?
Oh my god, I
Oh,
know. I mean,
dude.
that's the only good thing about TikTok though is that they start having you tag the art, like the song, so it sends you to like the artist, and then you can look them up from there. Like I have a friend,
Yeah.
um, might end up getting him on, not sure yet.
Yeah.
Went to high school with, and he blew up on TikTok in France.
Nice.
Because out
Dude,
of
you would
nowhere,
never
he's
get
like,
me.
I don't know where the hell my music, like, I don't know how the hell you guys found out about it, but it's just insane. You
Yeah.
guys are using me and you're like your popular For You page, TikToks or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was
Yeah.
just crazy. Like people from like, I'm really like international, Mr. Worldwide.
Dude, that's crazy shit. Yeah, I look at the numbers on, you can track, you know, where your listeners are coming from nowadays.
Mhm.
And I was like, why are people in like Berlin and Frankfurt, like in Germany, like listening to my shit? That's weird, you know?
Well, like being
'Cause- yeah,
honest, like places like that
yeah,
are just so much more open-minded than the
yeah,
US. Like
yeah,
I've talked, I mean, we can see socially and politically like how just
yeah,
right now,
yeah,
look at the news, you know.
yeah,
But just in general, it's just like the biggest genre of music in the world is reggaeton. Like in the
yeah,
world,
yeah,
like that's not even like it may be like the top like 4 or 5 here in the U.S., but it's like
yeah,
that it's just so close-minded. Like
yeah,
hip hop's huge, pop is huge, and like
mm,
country is huge. But if you look outside of the U.S., hip hop has some push. Pop does have some push, but like country, not so much. And then in that place, reggaeton takes its spot.
mm,
But it's so crazy to me that like yeah, like Frankfurt, like you were saying, people like in Germany are listening to that stuff because it's like yeah, their cultures are. I'm not bagging on the U.S., but I am saying like maybe live a little more open-minded. But all I'm saying is
yeah,
that their cultures do preach a little bit more open-mindedness and a little more like individuality
absolutely,
in
absolutely,
creativity, especially.
absolutely, yeah,
So that's what I'm saying, bro. Just keep grinding. Just keep. I mean, you know it already. You've been doing it for a minute
oh,
now. So I
yeah,
mean,
oh yeah,
how it works.
we're definitely a trendy country over here, aren't
Unfortunately.
we? Yeah. All right,
Um,
my dude.
yeah, with that being said, brother, thank you again for coming on. Don't forget to follow Escapism on Instagram. That's at escapism_music_. We're going to link him in the video description anyways, so you guys will have a pretty easy route to getting him. Again, I want to say thank you. Had a great time. You're a great dude. You're obviously destined for some big stuff. I mean, you know it. You understand. Keep grinding. Keep pushing. Yeah, we're only it's only the beginning.
I know. All right, I believe it. Same goes to you, brother.
Thank you, man. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the Rise Music. Don't forget to turn on those notifications. Don't forget to rewatch old videos, and don't forget to come back on our next episode. But that is why you turn on those notifications. You know what I'm saying? All right, ladies and gentlemen, peace out.